I feel weird that this is the last one that Tom heard me say that a poet friend of mine that I've known since the early days of CC&D back in '93, because of so much pain that he was in, he went through assisted suicide and he died in the past few months. And we're actually going to go to Nashville to do a commemorative thing with people in mid-August. So I've been trying to not think about it, and so 2 days ago I wrote this, and it's about this, and it is called Our Ships Would No Longer Cross. It was tough trying to take the time to see him, but you know, you have to make time for a God. His name was Curtis Raymond McGuirt. C Ra is what he was known as. But you have to make time for a God. I hear that religion is an important thing, and when he moved farther away, and then I moved farther away, well, we'd say we'd make an effort, but you know how life gets in the way. Life gets in the way, they say, even for gods and poets alike. And although I knew his pain in the past, he never spoke of it again until later, once I was too far away to make a real difference. So once, when I was traveling at great length again, when my sun god happened to be in the closer to reach, I contacted him, asked him if I could make the trip to see him again, and he was curt, cut me off, told me no. I didn't understand his response. I just wanted to lose myself with the sun god one more time. And I was only told after his assisted suicide that his pain was so great that he cut everyone out, became argumentative, belligerent. So maybe it was for the best. Our ships could not cross one more time if I couldn't help this God, and he would inadvertently hurt me in the process. I've been pushing it to the back of my mind, but I've been thinking about this lately, and I can't really get it out of my head anymore. Where is that point, that point of no return? And how does each and every one of us face it without losing our minds or just giving up? Then I wonder, how many people have given up and just not told anyone? They go through the motions when the pain is not so bad, and then that they literally need to end their life. Then again, maybe some people have given up inside without even reaching that breaking point. You see, this is why I've tried to avoid thinking about all this, now that I'm about to cry because of the injustices to my friend, to my poet, to my wrestler, to that sun god we all, in a way, worship. We think that in a way, the light he gives helps to give us life, but we forget. We couldn't see, we didn't know, and there was nothing we could do. That for so many years, he was dying inside. That's what happens to a sun. Remember your astronomy classes. After all the energy expulsion and the burning of hydrogen, they eventually run out of power, just collapse. Some hate to think of the death of a star, but we've learned all about this. We should be prepared. And even though the sun god we know and love burns so bright, we have to remember this and brace ourselves for when some stars have to die.
Wow. Thank you for that. I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you. I met him when I started CC&D, and he was submitting stuff to me, and I was publishing him a lot. And he said, "How can I thank you, repay you for a lot?" So I'm like, you could start your own magazine and start publishing me. And people talk about Penny Dreadful review that he did, which is funny. But in the 90s, he would send me emails. He's like, "I can't take the pain anymore. and so I would write to him and be like, it will get better. I just want to say that it should get better. I don't know what to say, And then he stopped talking about it. So you thought things were okay. He got married. They had twins, but then the pain just came back. And the thing was, medication. No places would give him medication that would actually help him with the pain. And his wife lived in Canada, so he was able to get some more medication there, although some things in the States you could get. And so it was just like this big messed up thing about how difficult it was for him to function. And they, in Canada versus the States, have things like assisted suicide with medical help and stuff. And so he eventually did that. And so it breaks my heart. It breaks the heart of all the poets that know him and all the people that know him. And actually, the humor of that line of saying to my wrestler was not only because he was wrestling with so many things, but he actually was a wrestler. His Luscious Love was his name, and he wrote a book about his experiences that I published with Scars, and so it's kind of funny and ironic for that as well. But we're just talking about C Ra. So Curtis Raymond, and that's why I said he became Kurt, because his name was Curtis. But John actually pointed that out when I wrote it, and I'm like, oh, I'll point that out because people that don't know him will get a kick out of that. But he was the sun god, and I won't read any more about that. So, anywho, so thank you for listening. And that was a new one, so all new pieces in this new rounds. And thank you.